Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday edition of the Paranormal Weekend Morning Brew Show. I'm your host, Nighthawk, and we've got my co-hosts coming on, Geryl and Dennis. Here in a little bit, we're going to go over a few of the disclaimers and copyright crap, and because of all the bots out there and everything censoring and all that, we want to make sure that they don't censor us because everything we do is under the Fair Use Act of 1976. Okay. So thank goodness for the bicentennial year. Okay. Anyways, this channel may use some copyrighted materials without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the Fair Use Act. Copyright disclaimer is Nighthawk High Strange's podcast channel and all the podcasts do declare fair use of any and all content, that's any and all content, to be used for the sole purposes of information, education, criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, and parody, because we all know I love parody, okay? Hey, I grew up on Saturday Night Live, so of course I love parody. Okay, that's when Saturday Night Live was actually good. All right, fair use is permitted by the 1976 Copyright Act, Section 17, subsection 107 of the Fair Use Act. All right, furthermore, all Nighthawk High Strange's podcast channel and podcasts use the Splice app for all of its advertising music and advertising needs, all photography and everything through that site. Okay, so we declare fair use on all the music. All right, so that's being said, let me get that off of there so you can all see my gorgeous Sunday morning self. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm feeling like I got run over by a tractor trailer. So I don't know how you all are feeling. I hope you all are feeling good and doing good. I hope you all got your cup of coffee or your tea or whatever you need, because we are going to get into it today. Okay. We had a good subject yesterday. Let me go ahead and just adjust this screen. We had a good subject yesterday. Okay. We got into the AI and the reason the woman freaked out on the airplane. Okay. We got into several different aspects of just what she might have seen, which was reptilian, which was, something shape-shifting, maybe a cyborg combination, maybe an AI robot, something, and nobody was really specific on who she was talking about, whether it was the flight attendant or one of the passengers in the back of the plane. So we got into that subject pretty heavy yesterday. And we did quite a bit going over that. And let me see here. Okay. All right. All right, G, you got it. All right. Thank you, G. All right. Let me get that off of there so I can see you all again. Make sure that you all know that the subject matter that we discuss here on the Paranormal Weekend Morning Brew on Saturday and Sunday mornings is going to be anything from conspiracy theory confirm that, lift your coffee up high and know that you're amongst friends. Okay, so it's just the way it is with us. Okay, we just sit back, we relax, we enjoy the conversation, and it flows wherever it goes. Okay, so we go with the flow. All right. Um, I did want to continue the conversation from yesterday, and I hope that everybody in the chat was looking forward to it. I see that we got the chat going really good already. Let me go over there and say hello to everybody. Okay. And there I go. Every time I say that, I got to say hello to everybody. I think of that damn Christmas Vacation movie when that old aunt comes in and goes, "Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody." The one that brought the Jello with the cat food. How we doing, guys?
How's it going?
All right.
Let's see. We got, of course, we got G in the, we got Dennis in the house. We got Raven Creek Charms in the house. Ozzy Sue, Yolanda, otherwise known as Rosie. We got David Lester. Good morning in the house. Hopefully his lovely wife is in the house too. And not out in the porch, because I don't know if you all saw that big old black rat snake that they took off the roof of their porch. That sucker was probably every bit of 5-6 feet long.
I was don't tell them they won't have to worry about any rats around there for a while. He should take care of all the rats around there.
Well, black snakes also, they eat copperheads too, so we don't have to worry about poisonous snakes when we see a rat snake around. So
I need a few around here. I've got a bumper. I've got a bumper crop of copperheads around here, so I need some rat snakes.
Yep. Good morning, Gemini Moon. Corey, good to see you, Corey, my brother. All right, good to see him on here. All right, let's see. And I want to say an early thank you to all the moderators today, because without you all, good morning, Melissa. Good to see you. Karen, good to see you. We couldn't do this without the moderators, guys. We really couldn't. They mean so much to the broadcast, because they help us with the conversation in the chat. They keep the flow going. If it wasn't for the moderators, we wouldn't really have that great of a podcast. It'd be pretty boring, if you ask me. So
they're invaluable. They're invaluable, definitely.
So I always want to make sure I thank them, and make sure that, they know, and everybody in the chat knows, like my lovely wife, Tracy, who's in there. And Larry, good to see you, Larry. Sometimes when we venture out and do things in our lives, sometimes we do things that we want to make sure has like almost a lasting legacy. And I'm sure G and Dennis and I and several other podcast hosts and founders started their podcast because they want to make an impact in a certain area of life. Okay, they want to make a contact with people and leave that legacy behind of information, the wealth of information that they had and that they could obtain through the podcast. Okay, so that's why we really do this. We really do this. It's almost like leaving a legacy behind for future generations to refer back to and watch these videos over and over again if they need to. So that's why we do it, if anybody's wondering, and that's why the moderators do it. So because they want to be part, and leave a legacy behind. So, but anyways,
absolutely.
Let's get in here. And but I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's how I feel.
Absolutely.
And, I want to thank
posterity is a very important thing. That's history,
Yeah, definitely. And Geryl, thank you for the new logo design there with the 3 logos on it, man. That turned out really nice. He's turning into the whiz, the computer whiz. But anybody that notices up there in the other corner over on Dennis's shoulder is the new logo design there for all of us to for coming together and trying to make this podcast work. So and our own podcasts work. And as you all know, the famous Dennis is going to have his own show coming on here pretty soon. When you going to start that, Dennis? Do you know?
It's gonna be very soon. So probably within the next couple of weeks, definitely. I got to get my reel done and some other things, but I've got to get that program you were telling me about and start rolling with that. So it's gonna be in the next couple of weeks, definitely, if I can find the time.
Yeah, I forgot to send you the link to that. Yeah, I forgot to send you the link to Splice, but all you got to do is Google Splice, and it'll pop up. So,
okay.
Well,
I'll be laying the groundwork for that, and I'm also going to start production very soon on the Midnight Road video series. That's going to be on my own YouTube channel, but it's going to be on here too as well. I'm trying to play double favorites here.
Yeah, I think in the old days they called that the middle playing both ends against the middle. So
yeah, there you go. That's it. But also, I was going to tell everybody that I'm going to also be on tomorrow night. Of course, tonight I got my Demonology Today show at 9. But now tomorrow night, I might tell everybody they might want to catch me on Texas Front Porch. And we're going to be talking about one of our favorite subjects, werewolves. Okay, and by the way, I'm gonna throw something out there for everybody before we get into our chat today. I'm gonna throw something out there for. Did you know that there is a werewolf in the Bible? And that's all I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna have to tune in and listen. But there is actually a supposedly a werewolf in the Bible.
They might have a Sasquatch in the Bible too with Goliath.
Yeah, he comes close, definitely.
Anyways, and so that's gonna be tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, tomorrow night at 9 on Texas Front Porch.
Okay, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I was talking to Tex yesterday about coming on Becoming Monsters or Midnight's Monsters Beyond the Dark. So it'd be me, you, and Tex coming on here probably in the very near future. I gotta get a hold of him and pin down a date, So, but that'll be a good show too. Now, G, what are you doing there, boss? I know you're busy making logos and everything for everybody and helping out, but what's your future look like here?
Well, tonight at 6 p.m. Central, me and Jane's going to have Jessica, the cryptid huntress, on, and we're going to get into talking about some of her investigations and in the meadow. And she just went to Tennessee here recently and was exploring a cave on somebody's property that has some unusual activity in it and stuff going on. Then Wednesday night, Thursday morning early, 12:30 a.m., we're going to have our Night Owl Lounge, and we really haven't picked a subject yet. We're just going to kind of go with the flow and see what the chat has, and it's starting to gain a little ground there at 12:30 a.m. I'm kind of surprised at how many people are up, and well, I mean the UK and people come in and.
Yeah, and the fact that some people they just they sleep for a couple hours, they wake up and they can't go back to sleep right away, so they might as well watch something on the tube or the phone instead of getting out of bed, So
yeah,
but yeah, that's I mean, obviously I'm on that in the chats of the Night Owl thing, so I mean, because I wake up, I'll sleep for maybe an hour and a half. I'll wake up for a couple hours. I'll fall asleep for like an hour and a half, wake up for a couple hours. That's just the way it goes with me. So I'm always, turning that phone on and trying to listen to somebody,
You're doing cat naps there.
Yeah.
You're doing cat naps.
Yeah.
I wanted.
So,
I don't know if you caught that just
buddy.
now. I don't know if you caught that just now, but I showed you all of us on the big screen here. I'll show you again. Let's see if I can get it going here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, I
Yep.
see. Yeah.
I can see it.
Hi, Bill.
Okay.
Hi, Bill.
I was gonna tell everybody. I'll give you a little. I was gonna tell everybody out there, if you want to see us on a big screen or you want it cast to your TV, if you've got a Amazon Fire Stick, you can actually watch this on your big screen TV, or whatever TV you got. We're on the Amazon Fire Stick, okay, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which is pretty neat.
Yeah. Any smart TV is set up to use YouTube and Amazon Prime, so you can pick up the podcast on those too. So, so yeah, you don't even need to have a smart stick or anything like that for that. If you just have a smart TV, like we have in the living room, it just automatically comes. As long as you have internet, you've got TV. So that's a good thing. So that's the way the future's going. Nobody's really.
If you don't have a smart TV, the Fire Stick will turn it into that. The Amazon Fire Stick, and they're going to be on sale.
Yeah.
Sometime this week if somebody wants to pick one up. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. See, learn something. There we go. All right, we're all done. It's a wrap. No.
Thanks for coming.
Anyways, yeah. I just want to get it out there that I really appreciate everybody in the chat, man. They got a good conversation going already, talking about the if you got bobcats around, right, Corey, you don't have to worry about snakes and rodents. That's what he said. Corey's like, yeah, I got bobcats. So, yep. Only man I know that would be happy to have bobcats around his place. He must be a cat lover. So, anyways, Corey, brother, it's good to see you on here again, man. We missed you. So, yeah, yesterday's conversation, guys, got pretty heavy into the whole what the woman was freaking out about on the plane. And then we got into the AI aspect of it and the robotics and the whole Terminator type of a situation. If AI could actually feel what it's like to be in the human body, that kind of a conversation, which I really don't believe so. I don't believe they can, because they don't have a soul. You have to have a soul in order to be able to feel, what we feel. So, but that being said, that's just my opinion. That and $1 might get you a cup of coffee at McDonald's. So, but I wouldn't recommend coffee at McDonald's. You know why? You know why, Dennis?
What's that?
Okay.
Why is that?
I'll tell you why. Yeah, I'll tell you why. My one son came out to me and said that they did a study on McDonald's products, and they found out that McDonald's is putting bleach in their chicken. They're bleaching chicken. Okay, and God knows what else they're bleaching. And they're also not taking care. They're not taking care of their filtered water coming into their facilities by changing the filters and making sure there's no mold or mildew in the system. So that is why this guy quit going to McDonald's about a week or so ago. So that and the fact I'm broke. So I mean,
well, it's a common it's a common procedure. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, that you buy meat from a grocery store, and I talked to a butcher about this one time. Sometimes every now and then you'll see like a little pink spot on the meat, And what he told me, I asked him, what the heck is that? Are you painting the meat? It looked like it was painted on there, you know. He said, no, that's usually where there's a bad place on the meat, and we use Clorox on it. Yeah, they use Clorox on it. Hold on a minute. Come on. You know, here's the interesting thing. They're painting it. Here's the interesting thing, though. What else are they doing to the stuff we're eating here? You know, that's some weird stuff. And now you've got lab grown. Now you're gonna have lab grown meat that's been approved by the FDA. Lab grown meat. I'm not eating artificial meat, folks. Okay, that's it.
No, neither am I. Neither am I. That is just disgusting to even think of. And if they can lab grow meat, you know damn well they can lab grow a human being. So, and I'm just saying, you know, that's, you know, human beings taste like pork. Okay, that's why dogmen like us. So, anyways,
yeah. I told that to a doctor one time. I was having a little minor surgery done, and the doctor was cauterizing me, you know. And I told him, I said, it smells like pork, you know. It reminds me of my last barbecue or something. You really do. You really
Doc,
do smell like barbecue pork
there,
you know.
Yeah, Doc, are you cooking bacon while you're operating on me? Oh man,
that was weird.
Well, you know, watching my favorite movie, you better hope that meat's made in the lab and it's not like in the movie Soylent Green.
Oh yeah. I like that about the thing that Wendy's used to put up on their sign. You know, the best ingredient of our food is our people.
Yeah.
Won't mess with that. I'm not going there. But I think somebody called them on that. You need to take that sign down. Definitely. But, you know, we were talking yesterday about the woman on the plane. I was going to tell you this, a little follow-up about the woman on the plane. Nobody knows where she went to. She has just disappeared. There's been no follow-up.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's laying low or or lowering up. She might be lowering up. I don't know what the deal is, but she has dropped out of sight. Definitely.
Or she was taken out of sight.
Either one. That's another possibility.
Yeah, when it comes to the shadow government and the powers that be that control the world, which is not the presidents of the countries, it's not the Congresses or any legislatures of the countries. We all know who is in control. BlackRock.
That's one of the that's one of the unwritten. That's one of the unwritten mottos of the CIA, William. They used to have little things that we can make you disappear, and they can.
Yep. And BlackRock's thing right now is they can make you disappear or they can make you flat broke. So you wish you could disappear.
Yeah. Make you wish you were disappeared. Yeah. They have their ways of doing it. And like I was talking about yesterday, how they accuse all of us of being conspiracy theorists, nuts, and racists.
Anyways,
because they want to discredit you. You know, that's their main goal on stuff like that. Definitely. Shut you up.
Right, exactly. You know, and you know, when there's people like us that have to stockpile food, because I'm literally sitting in not only my podcast room, but I'm sitting in our emergency pantry room, and we literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5-gallon buckets full of like non-perishable food items like rice, beans, freeze-dried coffee, of course, sugars,
yeah.
flours, and that kind of stuff, powdered milk. We've got it all stockpiled, for just when the crap happens, and it's going to happen. I mean, it's bound to happen. I mean, you don't want everybody to be caught in another potato famine or another stock market collapse like it was back in the 20s when the soup lines and stuff were over a mile and a half long. It's actually getting back to the days of people growing their own gardens, and harvesting their own gardens, but also going out and learning about the edible plants in the wild. And there's several people in the chat. There's several people in the chat that I know for fact know how to survive out in the woods with no food. Because let me tell you, they are smart. They're herbalists. They use these herbs every day. They know how to cook them, how to prepare them. I mean, most people pull up dandelions in their yard thinking they're weeds. Well, you know what? They're not. They're salad.
No. They're a very viable food source. A very viable food source. I've been watching a lot of videos, William, about these things, and you can go on YouTube and find some invaluable information on these plants out there and learn what to eat and how to cook it and how to prepare it and how to actually survive. And then we all need to do that. We need to have that as a backup plan, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to do a show on that here coming up pretty soon about tinctures and ointments and all kinds of stuff that we make out of plants. As a kid, in grade school, they showed us how to fry up a dandelion and make it taste like a mushroom. And we do that almost every year out of our yard because we don't spray our yard. We let the animals, the bunnies, and everybody eat the clover and all that. And so we got a whole closet full of tinctures and ointments and stuff that we've made ourselves. And we got homemade remedies, like grandma used to make, for cuts, burns, and headaches and sinus problems and aches and pains. And there's just a whole gamut of stuff you can make from the flowers and plants out in your yard.
Yeah. And aloe is one of nature's greatest miracle plants. The aloe, it does all kinds of stuff. It even helps in preparation of food.
Yep, and here's a little tip for everybody too, a Native American tip. If you're in pain, if you get hurt in the wild, and you're around some kind of a water source where there's a willow tree growing, what you can do is go to that willow tree and take the outer bark off, and the inner bark you peel off in thin strips, fold it up, wad it up into like a little square, like a chickpea or whatever, and you put it in your mouth and just chew on it, suck on it, all that, because that is a natural painkiller. Okay.
It's aspirin. That's where aspirin comes from. That's where aspirin comes from.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know that. So, that's just a little tip. If you do get hurt in the wild and you got no way to take care of yourself, that'll help at least, that specific tree, a willow tree, whether it's red or white willow, it doesn't really matter. Willow is willow, except the red willow we also use for pipe ceremonies. But anyways, a willow tree, inner bark for pain. Okay, and there's several other things too. There's chaga. There's several different things out there that people don't know about.
There's a wild,
I really highly recommend
wild growing mullein, I think it's called, and you can make a poultice out of it, and it actually helps a wound heal. So you've got a lot of plants like that,
Yeah, I think it's mullein.
Yeah, I would highly recommend, that everybody just kind of research that a little bit, just to keep yourselves on the up and up, and make sure that if something does happen, if the SHTF does happen, which is the crap hitting the fan. You know, at least you have a little bit of knowledge to get you through to where somebody can help you. Okay. And if times ever do get that rough, God
Here's
help
the
us
bad
all.
thing, William. Here's the bad thing, William. About 80% of our medicine, I'm talking about pills, aspirins, all this other stuff, guess where it comes from? China. So if they cut that source off, that's it,
Yep. Good morning, Andrea. But yeah, anyways, hey, Falafel Bay, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, McDonald's mutated burgers. Yeah, I think it's like I think the meat that Taco Bell and McDonald's uses in their products are like a grade D or E. It's not grade A, it's grade D or E actually.
Yeah.
So it's like the scraps off the floor,
Well, here's the thing.
like
Here's the thing about processed. Here's the thing about processed meat. Processed meat is ground up meat. It could come from any part of the cow, the chicken. You're not gonna know where it's coming from. They grind it up and process it that way. That's what you're eating, folks. You could be eating chicken rear ends and not know it, okay? There you go. Horse meat.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
So we transplanted my father's grapevines in our yards. We have grapes, and we have ate the leaves of grapes. If you catch them when they're young and not hard yet and old, then they taste just like lettuce. You can make wraps with them and all kinds of stuff. We have gooseberries, strawberries. We got all kinds of stuff growing around our house that we could eat if we had to. Right now, we just snack on them when we go out in the yard, We got elderberries growing out back. And so we make all our tinctures and medicines with elderberry, which has a lot of good minerals and antioxidants in it.
Persimmons are another good source of fiber. Now you got to get them before they ripen, after they ripen, not before they ripen. But there are actually poultices they make out of that as well. It's supposed to draw impurities out of the wound. The persimmon. I'm talking about when it's green now, not when it's ripe.
Yeah.
But of course, you can eat it when it's ripe.
Did you guys know that there is a belief that the tree of life might actually be recognized as the apricot tree? And hear me out on this. The apricot tree. The apricot tree is the seed inside the pit inside the apricot. If you take the outer husk or shell off of the seed and you eat the inside seeds, like people in Africa do, in a certain part of Africa, I'm not going to say, but they are living to be like 120 to 150 years old now, all because of the apricot seed. They eat them every day. So, if you think about it, it says in the Bible, God says to Adam, I believe, that if you're going to eat the fruit, eat all the fruit, seed and all.
Well, it says nut of the fruit.
Now, why would God say that if it wasn't like, hey, you know what? I'm trying to tell you something, child of mine. Listen up,
Well, take an overview of that, William. The overview of that would be the seed is life. It makes perfect sense to eat some of the seeds because you're eating life. That would enhance your life. That makes common sense to think about it.
We keep the
I've always
insides
been
of
that
our
way with an
peaches.
apple. the only thing I usually throw away from an apple is the stem. I don't eat it. You can pick your teeth with it, by the way. But after that, you throw that away. Eat everything else, though. Eat the seeds, the core, the whole works. You're throwing a lot of the apple away when you throw the core away. I mean, you're throwing a lot of the essence of that apple away. That could be good for you.
Yeah, we'll break open. We'll break open the inside. When we eat the peach. Most people throw that out. We break it open and we eat the little nut inside of it, and it's very it's kind of bitter, but it's really good for you. And
a lot of nutrients and stuff in it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good morning,
I've seen several. There's several good books out there that are called biblical eating. How they used to eat in the Bible and all that. Jesus is mentioned in the New Testament. He never mentioned much about eating meat. He's always eating what? Fish. And fish is one of the best foods you can eat because of the oil and everything. It really gives you the requirements better than red meat.
Yeah. You all would be proud of me because I'm actually cutting all the painkillers that I'm on out of my routine. First off, because it's expensive. I don't have the money to pay for it. The GoFundMe just isn't doing for that right now. But anyways, I just don't have it, so I'm cutting it out, and I've started taking turmeric and collagen, and I've noticed that when I take the two together, I do feel better. I feel more. I don't have the normal creaks and snaps and pops and cracks and stuff when I move. You know what I mean? I feel like I can move a little better. So, but I almost think that a lot of these medications that they're putting us on, out of just because they're putting a Band-Aid on a condition instead of treating a condition. I think that pharmaceutical companies are just really, really trying to do a number on the natural remedies market. They're trying to out them altogether. And I'm a firm believer. If you have a chance to learn natural remedies, do it.
There's no money in it for them. That's what it is. There's no money in it. It's all about the money. William, I want to tell you something blow your mind. And when they give you medicine, they don't know what it's going to do to you. It affects everybody differently. They do not know what's going to happen when you take that. And that's why a lot of times doctors say, well, then you call me if you start having side effects from it. They don't know what it's going to do. But I'm going to tell you what, I have seen this with my own eyes on several occasions because I worked in a hospital for 30 years. I've seen doctors actually in ER have to stand there and read the medical patent that came with the medicine to see what he does. They don't know any more than you and I. They've got a big book. That's all they go back to. They go back to that book. They can't remember all these medicines. Nobody humanly possible could, So you do not know what it's going to do to you. That next pill you take or that next shot they give you, you really, and they don't either. That's the interesting point.
Right.
Exactly. I take turmeric almost every day, but you got to make sure that you take it with black pepper. You have to have black pepper to activate certain things of turmeric. Also, vitamin D, I believe, is the other essential vitamin that goes with turmeric to activate it in your body so it can digest and use it into your body, absorb it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Somebody told me that if you could put anything,
that I'm doing.
Somebody told me you could put anything in William's coffee and he'll drink it.
No, that's not true actually, but I will tell you this: when you get to the bottom of an empty bag of coffee, nothing fun ever happens there. So
Yeah, it's sad. Nothing but sadness.
Nothing happens here.
uh, yeah. And I wanted to tell you all too, though, that I've been doing a lot of the biblical research on a lot of the ointments and stuff that they used back in the old days. And I did figure out how to start making this one ointment with olive oil, myrrh, frankincense, cinnamon, and a couple other things that they used to use. They called it the golden. What was it? The golden oil. They called it. Okay. And when they put it on their aches and pains of their body, it literally went away instantaneously. So I've been practicing with mixtures of that too. So I still have to
And
get a couple more
there's another interesting thing mentioned in the Bible that is supposed to be sort of like a miracle thing, and that's frankincense. There's a lot of frankincense oil. There's a lot of people swear by that. They say it does a lot of good things for the body and all that thing. I'm looking into frankincense oil. Actually, I have used frankincense oil in blessings. In certain instances, it's considered a somewhat holy oil. Frankincense.
Now the gold is supposed to be turmeric, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say good morning to Country Boy Conversations and Aunt Edna. Good to see you. Good to see you, Aunt Edna. You still didn't give me your mailing address so I can mail you some stickers. So if you would, Aunt Edna, please send that to lakotaman333@gmail.com so I can get them stickers out to you in Maryland, okay? Alrighty, in Maryland. Alrighty, we talked about on Midnight Monsters last time about the werewolf of Maryland there, and it was a pretty interesting thing, the connection between the werewolf and the snallygaster being enemies, mortal enemies, because the werewolf, the Dewayu, used to steal the eggs, the unhatched eggs of the snallygaster, and the snallygaster would try to kill the werewolf in order to save the eggs, save its children. So it was just interesting, talking about that the other night. About 2 weeks ago, I think we did a show on that. But
there was that connection
said,
we explored. That connection we explored, William, between the Hexen beast and the snallygaster. It was a lot to do with Ohio and Pennsylvania and that area, the Dutch area there. That was very interesting.
Yep. Exactly. Very interesting. So if you go back and watch some of the old shows, you might actually find yourself a good one that you might like and might want to save, because that was a good one. So now getting back into the subject of yesterday, the whole airplane incident was really, really unique because, like you said, the woman is not seen again. Okay. And you would think that if somebody knew the woman, okay, like say somebody was her neighbor or something, or her lived in the apartment up above her or wherever, or worked wherever she worked, they would be coming forward and disclosing, basically, basic information on the woman, you know what I mean, in the media. But nobody has come forward. Nobody. Now, isn't that a little strange that nobody would speak up about this woman? I mean, think about that.
That's very, very odd.
All
That's
the millions of people
that,
that saw that.
Yeah. But William, in my career, I've run into people, especially when it comes to UFO sightings, some Sasquatch sightings, and ghost sightings. Some people are afraid that they're going to be ridiculed. That's a big fear they have. They're going to be laughed at and made fun of. And a lot of people value their privacy above all other things, and I don't blame them in some ways. They value their privacy above other things, and that could be a possibility with this lady. But But I do agree with you. It's strange that somebody hasn't come out and said, "Oh, I know her," or I'm her next door neighbor, and I know her and all this, and she does this or whatever. You haven't heard anything like that. It's just almost like I said, what I can find out in the research I've done. I was doing a lot of research. I was up to about 3 o'clock in the morning last night doing research, and she just disappeared off the face of the earth. It's kind of weird.
Well, we don't have news coverage like we used to. Back in the day, you would have local reporters show up at her house. They'd find out where she lived and interview her, or their neighbors or friends, or the newspaper man would go down there and write an article on them and interview everybody in the whole neighborhood. But now they just rely on people's cell phone videos, and add that to their broadcast. They don't even go out of their studios to investigate anything.
Where's Kolchak when you need him, right?
I know.
Where's he at? Well, there are no real Kolchaks out there anymore.
And that's where
real reporters.
That's where mainstream media gets the big 2 thumbs down. Okay, they get the 2 thumbs down because mainstream media is a joke anymore. They are a complete fallacy, a complete joke. And they don't even realize they're the butt of the joke. They really don't.
They just don't care.
That was one of the things when I was a kid, when I was like 16, 17 years old, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to go into journalism. I studied journalism. I took journalism in high school. I wanted to be a journalist. But then as times went on, it got worse and worse and worse. I finally killed that idea. I said, no, I know I'd rather be a freelance writer than a real journalist because there's more, you got more freedom with it. And now I was reading the other day that some of these reporters and all are complaining because they are getting flooded with articles written by AI. So the human equation is completely leaving out of media. It's all going to be run by AI eventually.
Yep. That and McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And like I say, you don't. I don't go out of the way to look. There's not that many printed newspapers anymore. It's all online stuff. It's all technology that's left the printed newspaper behind. It's only for use of the bottom of the birdcage or something. That's it. You don't even hear of people. Hey, I went out and bought a newspaper the other day. You never hear of that.
Then the big newspapers we do have is all getting bought up by conglomerates.
We got a little.
Yeah.
We got a little local newspaper. We got a little local newspaper here that makes up a weekly newspaper and puts it out. And it's called the Freedom Press. And they're just a little tiny company. But you know what? If you all would Google the Freedom Press and subscribe to their newspaper, I'm sure they would love it because I'm sure if it's not free to subscribe, then it's just probably going to be postage, which is not much.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that, we got to support these little newspapers, because these little newspapers are the ones bringing the stories to us, like the Freedom Press puts out stories about what the schools are doing to your children, what's going on with the environment, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of, conspiracy theory stuff, basically. But it's
the problem, though, William.
And I think every community needs to have what they call Freedom Press.
But that's the problem with journalism, William. A lot of these little newspapers have been bought out by these big conglomerates, in California, New York, and places like that. They're run just like your neighborhood McDonald's. They may be a little small franchise, but the main corporate headquarters runs them. That's why we should support like this place, this paper you're talking about, we should support our local things that haven't been bought out by these companies and all that, because that's where the real community lies. You know, there's a great app. I
Yeah.
don't know if you're very familiar with this, but there's a great app you can get that's very much like it's called Next Door. And it is focused right on your area, your community. And you can download this app and it will send you emails of what's going on around you. Like, you know, if there's been a theft or police activity, it sort of takes the place of a neighborhood newspaper, you know. That's a great thing, you know, that you can have something like
Oh,
that. But we need to support.
it,
We need to support stuff like that,
it,
you know.
it takes the replacement of the person in the street on the block that you call Alice, that is the gossip, you know, at the end of the street. You know, anybody that wants to know what's happening on the block, go talk to Alice. You know,
Alice Kravitz.
you remember Alice off of Bewitched? Yeah, off of Bewitched. Yep.
But you know, nobody is connected with their neighbors anymore. Nobody has anything to do unless just maybe once in a while you hear about a neighborhood block party or something. But it's very seldom. People do not associate that much anymore, and that's a sad thing
Yeah.
too. You know, I remember when I was a kid, all the folks would sit out in the porch swing on the front porches and they would talk. I loved to go from porch to porch. And of course, I would get people started on their ghost stories and weird stuff like that, you know. But every family had a ghost story, and they were more than one, definitely. And that was a thing of the past. Now you don't see it. Nobody even sits out on a porch anymore. They're afraid they get shot, probably.
Right. Oh man. Anyways, so the whole fact of the matter of that woman disappearing, kind of leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, because you know that's almost the perfect scenario for somebody to be taken away, to be, you know, locked up against their will and against their free rights as a citizen
Maybe,
and as a human being,
maybe
violating probably every human
maybe, maybe re-educated. You know that term,
yeah.
re-educated.
Well, they
Yep.
threw all the laws out the window when they got all the J6 people still in prison.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, they really did, you know, and that's the sad thing about this great nation, and we are still a great nation, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Um, you know, we tend to let corporations and big government step on us like we're some stepping stone or a stool, you know, to be stepped on and have their feet wiped on us, and you know, eventually the people are going to have enough. Okay, I mean that's
well,
just the way
William,
it's going to be. That's just
let
the
me say
way it's
this,
going to be. I
William.
mean, look what's happening in
Let me
France
say,
right now.
let me say this, okay? And this, and the people out there know that I'm telling the truth when I say this. There are entities out there. There are corporations. There are movements out there, political and otherwise, that want to tear this country down brick by brick and build their own thing in their own way. It won't even resemble the country that you and we all know and love. That's their goal. They're going to tear America down brick by brick, and they're not going to be satisfied until they do it.
This country is already doesn't look like what it was when I grew up.
Yeah.
It's already gone.
Mm-hmm. And that's their goal, though. They're gonna tear it down and rebuild something else that you and I, we don't even know what the heck it is. It'll be something completely alien to us, just like you know, the world I'm living in now. It's almost like I came back from a planet somewhere and landed on a strange land. I'm a stranger in a strange land. I don't, you know, it's just, it doesn't even seem like the same world I was born into. You know.
My father fought in World War II, and I'm kind of ashamed that the way the U.S. is right now, he wouldn't recognize what we're living in right now.
Sad.
This is like the first time that I've actually really truly am ashamed to be an American.
Mm-hmm. But they're not going to be satisfied till they tear what's left of America down.
Oops.
That's just the way they're doing. That's the way they're going. You know.
Look who's in the spotlight.
Yeah, look who's in the spotlight. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. How do I get the hell out of that? There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on, computer. You can do it. You may be old, but you can do it, computer. Come on. Come on. I know Excel sucks. Come on. There we go. Just got to encourage it. See? Technology is great when it works.
A little train that thought it could, choo-choo train that thought it could.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. J6 scared the government very badly because the people rose up with power, and that scared the government very much. That's why they're putting all these people in prison. They're trying to make an example of them. J6 scared the crap out of the powers that be.
Good morning, Katie. We let's see here. We have gone over the subject of that, but I mean, can we correlate that woman on the airplane to kind of like the people speaking out on January 6th? Yes, we probably could. Although you're talking about something political and something paranormal. So, two different subject matters or theories in itself, but yet it is what it is. You don't find the woman anywhere. Okay. Now if that was me that got that upset and told them first off I wouldn't be crying and screaming. I would probably actually kill the person. But anyways, that being said, which, by the way, my wife's getting me this great shirt. I don't know if you all have ever checked out Temu, but man, oh man, they got a couple good things on Temu, I'll tell you. And we found this cheap shirt, a T-shirt, and I'll show it to you all when it comes in. It's pretty funny. But anyways, make a long story short, they hide the people away that speak out about stuff. Like almost like Dennis said, where they're actually like re-educating. Or did actually Raven Creek Charms? It's Lakota Man 333. That's 3 3s. Okay. So it's Lakota Man 333 at gmail.com. But anyways, the re-education camps, we have them here in the United States that people don't even know. People have no idea we have those camps here. People have no idea that our government, our military industrial complex, has stockpiled millions of coffins. Millions, not hundreds, not dozens, not thousands, but millions of coffins. Why?
And also, you have to think about the UN bases that are here. And I've seen pictures of the UN equipment and SUVs and military vehicles. What's that doing on American soil? And like I said yesterday, the president is going to sign the president's going to sign a charter with the UN, folks. I'm not making this up. It's on the news. He's going to sign a charter with the UN that will give them complete control over the United States of America next time there's a pandemic or something like that happens. It don't have to be that. It could be a dirty bomb going on, whatever the case. They're just going to turn over complete control to the UN. There goes your government.
I want to just speak for a minute about what I said about being ashamed of being American. I misspoke. I'm not ashamed of being America. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I still believe in the land of the free and the brave. But I am ashamed of what America has became or has become. That's what I was referring to. I'm so sick of this government and the people changing the way we live every day, and how everybody, the woke culture, is destroying everything that we have ever grown to know and love in this country. And like I said, my father fought in World War II to protect our freedoms and the people of the world, not only the America, but of everybody's rights and freedoms. And that's what I'm sick of.
That's true. Like I said earlier, they want to tear down. They want to tear down the America that we love, that our people and our forefathers fought for. They want to tear that down brick by brick and put something else in there that's not even. We don't even know what the heck it is. It's got a lot. Its basis, the foundation of what they want to build, is communism and socialism. Definitely, that's the foundation of this weird utopia they think they're going to make. You know. That's the problem.
Yeah, they the powers that be, definitely the shadow government, Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, whoever is in control ultimately of the societies that we live in, and the countries we live in, definitely has nefarious plans for the normal citizens. In the old days, they used to call us the peasants. We're just the peasants. We don't even associate with royalty or high society. We're the peasants of society. Well, you know what? It's like I've always said, there's going to come a time when the boot hits the anthill, and the ants fight back. Okay? So, keep that in mind. Oh, elites, and royalty, reptilian race. I don't know, I mean, maybe it is the reptilians, they are demonic by nature. They are a lizard, for God's sakes. A dragon,
here's the thing.
Draconian.
And like that lady we're talking about, they can make you disappear. I remember very well what that lady, that was back in 1947 at the Roswell incident. And that full bird colonel took her statement about what she saw, supposedly. And then he said, now, lady, you need to forget about every bit of this and don't talk about it anymore. And she said, what are you talking about? What are you telling me that? He said, look, it's a big desert out there. They'll never find your body.
Yeah.
And that was 1947, folks. Okay. I mean, what would they do now? What would they do now?
Yeah. Yeah, they'd probably get rid of the body, the evidence, and grind your bones into dust, use it for medication, for pills, and then eat your meat like it's a slab of steak or something. I
knew we'd come back to Soylent Green eventually.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what the wafer bars that you're going to be stuck eating too would be made out of. So,
like you said, William, what you said earlier, What you said earlier about the ants rebelling, that's what scares them. That's what their nightmares are made of. That one day we're gonna rise up against them. That's what they think about every night when they get ready to go to sleep, if they can sleep. I don't know how they can, but anyway, that's what worries them. That's the one thing that really worries them. We might stand up against this slavery one day. That scares the crap out of them.
Yeah. 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 True. Very true. Thank you, Ozzy Sue, for asking everybody to hit the like button. I wish they would. Yeah, that helps us out with the algorithms. And then make sure you click on the notification bell too to be notified of all of our lives, or the new video postings. And remember, you got to subscribe. So you subscribe. Okay. Subscribe. Subscribe. Okay. Subscribe. And I don't have one for you there, Mr. Carroll. We got to get you one made up. Oh, here's the Night Owl one. I love this one.
Yeah. My favorite's Night Owl Lounge. That's the Night Owl Lounge, I think it is. That's my favorite.
Yep.
I'll hang out at the Night Owl Lounge. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But anyways, that's our commercial, by the way.
and now a brief message from our sponsors.
Yeah,
subtle.
Which
We're
is us. Yep. Well, you know what it is. Let me see what somebody has a question here about the woman. I'm trying to bring it up. I don't know why the computer is just really slow this morning.
Well, you know what really struck me, and I've went over that video several times, and that emotional fear in that woman's voice. I want people to go back and listen to that again. That's hard to fake, folks. That woman was scared, and maybe it was not just because if she's got any sense, not just because of what she saw, but what the aftermath might be of seeing something like that. That would be the first thing that popped into my mind. That's when I had my UFO experience. Okay, when I saw that UFO going over my head, close enough for me to hit it with a rock, absolutely silent, weird, otherworldly looking thing. One thing that popped in my head, and it's still a question that will haunt me till the day I die. What else is out there? And if you see something like that, you see a reptilian or whatever the case may be, that's what's going to come to you. What else is out there? And what's going to happen to me?
The problem with this whole story is that we're not looking at it just like Gemini Moon just said. What if that was a plant? What if they're trying to steer us away from something else? What if they're trying to say, okay, people are noticing reptilians or other people, and maybe they played this out as she was an actor, because look at that little girl Greta. Look how passionate she was, and she's nothing but a political actor.
Well, we talked about that the other day. The government's good at distraction, Geryl. They're very good at distracting you if they want to from the subject that's at hand. And I think if you'll watch a lot of these news items and things that's going on, like when something big happens, like with the president, they find out, like the cocaine thing, they immediately start coming up with other stuff to distract you from that. Watch it. I mean, it's very obvious what they're doing. This little game plan they've got. Misinformation and distraction. They're good at that.
Yeah, they are. So basically, what we need to do is we need to stay on the alert for. We need to stay on the alert for the paranormal stories. We need to check our facts ourselves, not depend on social media or or mass media, or mainstream media, I should say. And we need to support local. We need to support our local newspapers, our local businesses, instead of going to Walmart or a Super Shopper or whatever you want to call it, Costco, Wegmans, wherever you live, Kroger. Go to the small grocery stores. Go to the mom and pop stores. Instead of getting your gas at a Sheetz or a Sunoco, get your gas at a local, gas station, and support the local. That's what we need to do. Support your local newspaper. And I'm not talking the big ones that are owned by like the Chicago Sun-Times and crap like that. I'm talking your local newspapers, like the small ones that have the printing shops right there in your town. We need to stay on the alert. We need to stay focused. The way the world's going today, it's going to hell pretty fast. It really is. And we need to stay focused, especially when we're dealing with the paranormal. When you're dealing with the paranormal and the supernatural, the cryptid creatures and everything that everybody's seeing, we need to really be on guard about that stuff. We need to be able to discern what the powers that be are trying to influence us with this going on. They know that there's a certain part of their culture in societies across the world that believe in the paranormal and supernatural and cryptid creatures, and they are going to seek to exploit that fact. Okay, so don't assume that everything is as it's seen by you visually or by you hearing it. Okay, you need to remember that all governments
very
try to
true,
use it
William.
against you. So all governments will
That's
try
very
to use it
true.
against you.
We need to actively develop our discernment to know what we're being shown or fed is real or if it's fake. We need to develop our discernment and do our research, folks. That's all important. That research is what gives you a better and broader picture of the truth. Your own research.
So if you see something or you notice something or hear of a story, send it to us. Send it to one of us in email or whatever, and we'll read it. We'll put it out there. We'll start your own video blog, start your own blog online. Start gathering information and sharing it out.
And don't hesitate to come to us and ask us.
I would love
don't
to
hesitate.
have.
If you got a question, don't hesitate to get in touch with us and ask us. We'll happily help you if we can.
Yep. I would love to have a podcast. I would love to have the time to do another podcast myself that's a live or even a pre-recorded and then released immediately, on the paranormal news and supernatural news of the day. If the paranormal and supernatural encrypted community, UFO community were so connected, we should have our own news agencies. We should be able to network and put the information out there through podcasts. So I would love to have a show like that on this channel. I really would. Call it the paranormal, news hour or something, but going over what's happened, time and time again, all the weird stories like the airplanes disappearing, the people that were found at sea after 24 days that were found perfectly healthy, and don't remember anything, the ships being found at sea that have nobody on them, the ghost ships, UFO sightings, anything, cattle mutilations, we need to know when this stuff happens, and we need to be networked in such a way that when it happens, we can get the word out to at least that specific area of the country to let them know what's going on. So,
And the importance of that, William, if we had something like that, I would call it Paranormal Point or something. Give it a jazzy name. But if we had something like that, people could better see the patterns of things that's going on in this world, and it will give you a better grasp of research and stuff. I agree. We need something like that. We definitely do.
I just call it Weirdo Warrior
Yeah.
News.
I don't know. That might.
How about just
That
weird
might throw
news?
some people. That throw some people off. They already think we're all already cracked anyway. So why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'd rather be a little cracked than what's going on nowadays. And speaking of crack, here's a news article. What about the white powder substance found in the White House? Where could
The
that
snowstorm in July.
Where
Snowstorm
could
in July. I saw this on Facebook, William. You would love this picture. It shows the White House spokeswoman. I think her name is Karen or Corrine or something. Anyway, she's got like white powder on her face, and she said, "I don't know anything about any cocaine here." Okay. I love that. That was a good one.
How does the most secure building in the whole U.S. end up with a baggie of cocaine or whatever it was in close to their offices where it's a high security? How does that happen?
Hunter gave it to Joe and told him it was foot powder.
So you're telling me that some visitor could just walk into the White House with a bag of drugs or maybe anthrax and just leave it there? I mean, it could have been anthrax.
Well, whoever left the cocaine in the White House, this is for you.
Come forward and you'll get it. Come forward and let us know.
My only conclusion to that story is that obviously somebody brought that in that doesn't necessarily have to go to the same security checks and protocols that we all do.
And here's the thing, Geryl. Here's the thing: if they can bring in cocaine, they could bring a bomb in. I mean, my gosh.
Uh-oh. Who just said the B word? You just said the B word. Uh-oh.
They're going to be on you now.
Uh-oh.
Yep. They got another radical talking about the B word.
They're all talking into their wrists right now.
They got their Dick Tracy watches going full time here.
Yeah. We got one here. It's on Nighthawk High Strangeness. He's the guy wearing glasses and the headset. Keep an eye on him.
Well, at least we'll get more viewers that way.
Anyways. Only if they like and subscribe.
Oh,
and hit the notification bell.
We might could advertise ourselves. We might could advertise ourselves as the only show on the only podcast that's CIA approved. Because they enjoy it so much. They're so interested in us, we ought to join them.
CIA approved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the approved part, but we're probably on the list somewhere.
I think we.
Yeah.
Well, if the FDA doesn't have to approve stuff, then I don't think we have to worry about having approval.
No, more or less disapproval. But I was reading that statement just then about kids not being able to tell time, but the clock's on the wall. They don't even know how to give you change. If you hand some of these kids actual money, they don't know what to do with it. They'll take a card and swipe it. They know all about that, but they can't figure out how much change you're supposed to get back. What happened with math? They're not even interested in teaching math and English anymore. Yeah, it's more about pronouns or what to call somebody.
This is
and
no
sex
lie.
education.
Okay, this is no lie. This is no lie. Okay, this is no lie. You go to the store, something adds up to $5.24. Okay, you give the cashier a $20 bill. Okay, and 24 cents. Okay, and you're going to get back $14. I guarantee it. I guarantee you're going to get back $14 because they don't know how to subtract the 24 cents and make it $15. They don't know.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, William, and this is a sad fact. I've had to start doing this, okay? I warn everybody out there. Before I've used a $20 bill, I put an X on it because you might have to prove that you gave them a 20. I had that happen to me one time. I gave this gal 20, I think it was a KFC or something, and she gives me back and what I bought was like $5 and some change, and she gives me back like $5 out of a 20. I said, whoa, wait a minute. You should be giving me a 10 out of that, because you... And she wouldn't believe me. And I said, well, look back through there. She said, you gave me a 10. No, I said, I gave you a 20. I said, you look back in there, and the manager come out there, and I said, look, I gave her a 20. She says, I gave her a 10. I said, you look in that drawer. There's a 20 in there with my X on it. And the manager said, oh, you are right. So he gave me my 10 out of the change. You better be careful because they'll shortchange the fool out of you. So from now on, I put a little X on my 20s just in case. Because they don't know how to give change. They really don't. They don't even pay attention to what you're giving them.
Oh, there you went.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very true.
Yeah, so if you want to keep a secret, if you want to keep a secret these days, make sure you know how to write in cursive.
They don't know what, they don't understand that. What does that say?
Some kind of hieroglyph.
About the money, we won't.
What do you mean?
We won't have to worry about the money. We won't have to worry about the money long, Geryl, because it's all going to be, digital. There won't be any more cash.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. And then you got to figure, whenever they're asked to sign their name, if they go to the hospital emergency room, how they have you sign that electronic pad, they always say, well, I don't know how to do my signature. What's a signature? They can't discern the difference between a regular printed name and a signature for some reason. Because they took it out of schools, people. Look what they're doing to your children. They're dumbifying your children. Think about it. They've taken your children and molding them into something that you don't want them to be, that your kids don't even want to be.
Because they're not your children anymore. They'll tell you real quick, they're not your children. They belong to us.
They can tell me
Joe said that the other day.
The barrel of the
that's what Joe said the other day. They're our children. Who gave our children to the government? And that same thing it's going to be with the money. That same thing it's going to be with money. When the day that the currency goes digital, you will no longer have any money, folks. The government will own your money. It'll know everything about your money. It'll tell you where to spend it and how to do so. There goes your freedom, your financial freedom down the drain. And your kids are going with it too.
Yep, exactly. You know,
Did you see where
that's just
the other countries are getting together and actually starting a currency that's gold backed now? It's going to be backed by gold, unlike the U.S.
Yep.
yeah. That's because
But you know,
our
all this,
government is stupid.
all this stuff, Gerald, started with Hillary Clinton. Remember that statement she made? Takes a village to raise a child. No, it doesn't. It takes parents. But they're going to get you out of the equation because they want those children to train them to be what they want them to be. It's indoctrination. That's all it is. It's not education anymore. It's indoctrination. That's why they're turning these kids out that can't do simple math. They don't know how to tell time on the clock. They don't know anything. All they know about is putting the headphones on and listening to some rap music or whatever it is they want to listen to, or Taylor Swift or whatever the heck it is. They don't know anything else. They don't want to. They're not. William said they are actively dumbing them down for a reason, folks.
I don't see. I'm trying to figure out the comments here. Yeah, there's Gemini Moon says that she's experienced the shortage of change thing. I think we all have. You know, we all have actually experienced that. I would say.
And you know, I always had one question, William. I always had one question. Whatever store you're in, why does and you get shortchanged, whether it's at Walmart or Target. I don't even go to Target anymore, folks. I have nothing to do with them. Anyway, if you go there, you get it always comes down on their side, not yours. It always goes to their benefit, not yours. Why is that? you know, uh, it's like the odds in a casino. The odds in the casino always favor the house. That's the way it goes.
I like when their network goes down and their cash registers don't work no more. They can't even write it down on a piece of paper and do the math or keep track of it like the old days. It's like, here's the money, count out the change, write it down in your ledger and keep it until your network comes back on. It's that simple. You don't have to close the store down or say we can't purchase anything.
Well, no, they can't do that, G. They can't do that, Grandmaster G. You know why? Because you're killing a tree for every time you use a piece of paper. You're cutting down 12 trees to make a pencil. Of course, you know what, people? It's called forestation for a reason. Take it from a Native American. I know. I fought forestry for a long time growing up on the American Indian movement. Okay. I fought it. All right. Look at it this way. The way they do the forestation nowadays, for every tree they cut down, they plant 4. Okay. 4 trees to every one they cut down. Okay. They don't harvest those 4 trees for 25 to 30 years. Okay. So they're replacing the forest with more trees than what they originally cut down. Now, if you go and you look at the wildfires that are going on that are being set by the idiots throwing cigarettes and cigars out their car windows doing 60 freaking miles an hour in the middle of nowhere, of course you're going to have wildfires. That's where the problem is evolving to, okay? That's what the problem is. The problem is, folks, we as a whole don't give a shit about the environment, okay? So when you're throwing your cigarette or tobacco out the window, or you're pouring your hot coffee on the pavement that you don't like because it tastes bitter, or you're throwing your sandwich wrapper out the window, remember where that's going to come to. That's going to come to landfills. That's going to go to sewage. that's going to go to people having diseases and stuff because they have to pick up other people's garbage. I mean, I could go
And
on and
then,
on and on about this.
and in order to do that, William, you got to cut down more trees. And let me tell you something, folks. If the trees die, we die.
Yeah.
It's that
I mean,
simple.
I am all pro environment. I am Native American through and through. I am pro environment. I am pro animal activist. Okay. That's me. Okay. That's me and nature. Okay. Because me and nature and me and animals, we are one. I was raised to be one. Okay. Now, I look at what everybody's doing nowadays, and they're blaming this, that, and that on oh, global warming's because we're cutting all the trees down. Global warming's because we're using gasoline and not electric. Bull crap. I don't know what in the hell you all are smoking, but it's bull. It's
No, it's
not
politics,
because
William. It's politics.
it's
That's
not
what it's all
because
coming down.
it's not because of fossil fuels. It's not because we're using wood to make pencils or paper. It's not that. Okay? It's because the powers that be are trying to manipulate our environment by setting fires, by using weather manipulation devices, by brain screwing you and your children to the point where you're so dumbified that you can't see it in front of your face happening. That's what's going on.
Yep,
That's
playing
what's
politics with our
going
lives.
on.
And there's a very, very, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. I may be repetitive, but I'm an old man. I can repeat myself if I want to. Here's what the Bible says. Very strict warning in it. This came out of the mouth of Almighty God, okay? And he shall destroy them that destroy the earth. That's very plain.
Growing up, my dad planted a fruit tree for each one of us kids. There was four of us kids, and we each got two fruit trees, and then mom and dad got to pick their favorite fruit trees too. So we had a bunch of apple trees, we had pear trees, we had cherry trees. We had them all in our backyard. Mom and dad had an acre and a half backyard right in the middle of town, and all the kids are from all over would come over and eat apples and pears and peaches and all kinds of stuff out of our backyard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I apologize, everybody. I apologize for raising my voice and shouting on that, but that's why I turned the camera off, because I knew I'd be up in the camera, shouting, and I don't want you to think I'm shouting at you all. I'm shouting at the powers that be. I'm shouting at the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Klaus Schwabs, the Bill Gates,
Yeah.
the rock, the Black Rock corporations, the 11 companies that own everything: Hershey's, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, General Mills, Kellogg's. Those are the ones I'm shouting at. Okay, because they are dumbifying us. They're kicking our asses with all this crap that they're putting in the foods. They're dumbifying us. Okay, and the powers that be are going along with it because they're getting this shit and money shoved in their pocket left and right, and laughing all the way to the Swiss bank, where the American government can't touch them. Think about it. That's why the mob worked with the Vatican and the Vatican Bank, because nobody could touch the Vatican Bank, because it's the Vatican. Okay.
Funny you should mention.
Think about it.
Funny you should mention the Vatican. Funny you should mention the Vatican, William. I'll be doing a show on that tonight on Demonology Today, the secrets of the Vatican. And the Vatican is a country unto itself. You would not believe the vast holdings that this country, the Vatican, has. And like I said earlier, it's all politics. They're playing politics with our lives, but it's politics geared to their power, not ours, not for our welfare. No, never is.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting so disgusted with the way things are going, that sometimes, you almost feel like the whole paranormal field, the whole supernatural field, the whole cryptid field, the UFOs and stuff going on. You almost feel like it's all freaking manipulation or disinformation, that's being done and portrayed by the powers that be to keep us not looking at what we're supposed to be observing. I don't know. I just, I'm at that point right now where I just, I want to take the powers that be, and I want to, wake them up, wake up.
Yeah.
Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing to your environment. Look at what you're doing to your society, to your own people. To your own people, man. That's coming from a Native American. Look at what you're doing to your own people. Not white, black, red, or yellow. Your own people. Because you take a knife, we all bleed the same.
That's what I said yesterday, William, about the dark forces that are the humans that are in league with these dark forces. They're selling out humanity. And how much worse can you get than that? To do that to your own race, your own people, your own species, if you want to put it that way. That's a horrible thing to do. Think about it. Stabbing them in the back because of what you want, a little power, and you want immortality. You want to play that God game with them. That's what they're up to. And they're not going to stop. Nothing's going to stop them unless we stop them. But I think, and like I've said this before, I don't want to get religious on you here, okay? But the only thing I see in the future that's ever going to stop this crap is Almighty God. Period.
Yep. And look at this. This is proof right here. Karen Peterson, my executive producer, she is right on the money. You are right on the money, my dear. Uneducated, indoctrinated people are easy to use, exactly the same reason that they once outlawed teaching to slaves to read and write. That is the unabridged truth. That's truth right there. Right
dumbing
there.
Down.
That's truth.
Yep. The dumbing down of the world. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it's all about. The power. The power over other people to do what they want. Why are they? Here's what you got to ask yourself. Okay, I don't have any kids in school, of course, but if you got kids in school, ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question: why are they more concerned with drag queens and pushing a homosexual agenda and sex change operations? Why are they more concerned with that than reading, writing, and arithmetic? That's a big question there, folks.
That right there, we were taught in grade school to read and write, and we also had the pen pal program, and we also had to write a letter to our local representative and congressman. That was grade school.
Well, these corporations like Target and Budweiser and all these other corporations and Ben and Jerry's, they're all jumping on this bandwagon. They're cooperating with these dark forces, folks. They are in bed with these dark forces. They're helping them sell their agenda and their indoctrination. As William said, this dumbing down that they want to do. They're the ones pushing this. They're the engine moving behind this. And the only way you can actually actively push back is not to give them any of your time or money. That's it. Now, look, if I want to sell you a hamburger and hot dogs, why should I come up and say, well, what sex are you? What's that got to do with hamburger and hot dogs? I mean, that does, come on, folks, wake up. They're trying to dumb you down on a big, big movement going on here, okay? And it's nothing but simple indoctrination and brainwashing. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just one to feel like, they're doing everything for a nefarious purpose. All of them, the powers that be, the people that control the finances of the world, the people that manipulate the stock markets of the world, the people that regulate the gold and silver of the world, and the platinums and all the other metals. The people that regulate the banks of the world, the people that regulate the churches of the world. Because yes, my brothers and sisters, the churches are involved, because we are not supposed to be separated by walls. We are not meant to be compartmentalized into these segregated, what faith are you type of bullshit. Okay? Because it is exactly that. It's bullshit.
It's pigeonholing people, William. You ever seen anybody had a hobby of having pigeons? Every pigeon had his little hole that he had his little nest in. If you have a coop for them, if you have a pigeon coop, that's the way it went. And that's what they want to do to us. They want to pigeonhole us, put us in there. Oh, you're this or you're that, you're that. That keeps us divided, and that's what they want. That's why these last few presidents we've had were very good at dividing people, because that's how you keep control over people. Don't let them bunch up on you. You divide them and segment them out. Have them. Yeah, and here's the thing about it: this racism and all that stuff they holler and scream about. They're the ones promoting it. They're the ones instigating it. They're turning us against each other. Why? Because they want us that way. They want to pigeonhole us, put us and divide us so they can keep us conquered.
Yep. Yeah, you are right. You are absolutely right. You know, divide and conquer. It's the
Yep.
same old divide and conquer. You know, we really need to come together as a people, as one people, not one people of just one particular color, or one particular religion, but as one people. Okay. Do you think a pack of rats gives a shit about one of the rats being white or one of the rats being black? No, the rats don't give a shit about that. What they give a shit about is where their next meal's coming from.
Uh-huh. A rat's a rat to them. That doesn't matter. But there is power in a pack of rats. Okay, folks? Think about that. One rat you can take care of. But if you face 10,000 rats, you got a big problem. Okay? Well, they understand that. They can do math when they're trying to dumb down our kids so they can't. But they can do math. They know that they can deal with one rat at a time, or even a little small group of rats. But if a whole pack of them gets together, you got a problem, like the Pied Piper of Hamlin thing. You got a big problem. So they know that, okay? But we need to understand that concept. We are the ones that need to understand that. And there is power in numbers, folks, and cooperation and unification. That's where the power lies, real power.
Yep, exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
look
gonna
at
tell you
Ozzy
something,
Sue's
also, Sue.
statement.
Let me say something, also, Sue. A lot of this green junk is a bunch of junk. That's what it is. And like I said earlier, it's all politics. They're playing politics with our lives. And here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna save the world. We're gonna stop global warming. We're gonna do this. We're gonna that." They're gonna just screw it up even more than it has been before. That's what they'll do. Okay, because they're a bunch of imperfect idiots. They're not gonna get anything right. They think they are, but they're not. They want you dependent, Aussie Sue, on their stuff. They want you to eat your McDonald's hamburgers and shut up. They want you dependent on them because that's all part of the slavery. That's what it is.
Yeah. I want to tell everybody something here, and I'm going to stare you all in the face when I tell you this, because I want you all to hear me, okay, and see me. I think you all know me well enough to know that when I do talk about certain subjects, I mean it sincerely, genuinely, truthfully, honestly as I can be, okay? We as Native people have a ceremony, and it doesn't matter what you call it. We call it Wopila, okay? And it's the Great Giving. It's a ceremony that we take everything that we have loved or used to nurture us to growing up, and when we know we're passing, it's a great giveaway. Okay, we lay blankets out on the ground. We take our favorite knife. We lay it on the blanket. We take our favorite pipe. We lay it on the blanket. We take our favorite feather fan. We lay it on the blanket. We take everything that we have that we termed dear to us, and we tell the people, all of our relations, Matakwio Yasin, all of our relations, we tell them, please take these. Because what that is it's a way of passing something on, passing something very sacred on from one person's life to others. And if those people can use anything off of that blanket to enhance their life in any way, then it's meant to be. We need to have our societies built like that. Wopila, the great giving, the great blessing. And Tukashila and Makawakan will bless us. Our ancestors will smile down at us. And you'll feel that vibration around you just increase, and you'll feel the power within you because your heartbeat will grow stronger. If we all live our lives just like we say, walk in beauty, okay, we need to do that again. We need to find that spark because we're so busy and preoccupied with our governments and the bullshit that we're spoon-fed every single day of our lives that we forget about what is real, what is supposed to be, the way it's supposed to be. Some people may disagree with me. It doesn't affect me any way, shape, or form. My beliefs are my beliefs. I take my beliefs with me when I die. I came into this world with nothing and naked, and I leave this world with nothing and naked. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. So I tell you this, all you Bill Gates out there, all you Black Rocks out there, all you Pepsis and Cokes and Heinz and General Mills and Kellogg's out there, all you Sunocos and Exxons out there, I tell you all this, all you Rothschilds, the Vatican Bank, I tell you this. Your riches here in this world don't mean a damn thing. It's what's in your heart, the riches that are in your heart that carry you through. See, that's the secret. That's the ultimate secret. Okay, it's not the fact that you're following a pyramid or the all-seeing eye. It's not the little like signs and symbolisms that you see people doing. That's not it. The secret is in here. It's in that heart. It's in the ground, the Makawakan, the sacred Mother Earth you're walking on when you feel her heartbeat. That's the secret. And that's what you take with you as your journey continues after you leave this body. Nothing else matters. See, that was given to me in a dream last night, in a vision. And I don't talk a lot about my visions because a lot of people say, oh, he's just some crazy Indian. Yeah. I am a crazy Indian. I am. At least I admit it. At least I'm man enough to admit it here in public to everybody. I am a crazy Indian. And I'm proud to be a crazy Indian. You know why? Because I know what's going to happen on the other side. I know what's expected of me in order to leave this world. So yeah, before you start labeling somebody crazy or stupid for what they see or believe in, remember that what you say and how you act is part of the transformation process. So you got to mind your P's and Q's. There's a time to speak and a time to listen. Not everybody understands that. Take that for what it's worth, you know. Play it back to your relatives and say, hey, look at the crazy Indian. You know, he's babbling on. You know, it may be babble. But you know what? It's something that needs to be said. Because the way societies are going as a whole, with cities on fire and forests, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pine forests and tropical forests on fire, with 1/3 of our fish dying in the rivers and streams from pollutions and contaminants, you know, from military tests, from bombing ranges and stuff, you know, the amount of wildlife that has been destroyed by our military testing equipment. That all adds up, folks. And eventually we're going to answer for those things. And that's why everybody's worried about, oh, you know, we got this super volcano in Yellowstone. It's going to erupt. You're damn right it is. And it's going to erupt pretty soon. I've seen it. So you better get your ducks in a row. That is about all I have to say. You know, and I'm going to use the Forrest Gump theory on that and say life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So I'll leave it at that. We're at the 2-hour mark. I mean, you know, I haven't even checked the chat here for the last 5 minutes because I've been rambling. But it's something that I need to say. Wopila, the great giving it's almost like a transfer of power. It's almost like say when Hulk Hogan was defeated by the the one wrestler to carry on the alpha position of WWE, or WWF, whatever you want to call it. It's like the leader of the wolf pack telling the beta wolf, it's time for you and time for me to go. It's that kind of a scenario that I'm talking about. We need to realize that we're here for a purpose. And our purpose is to pass what we have on to the next generation, to the people next to us, to the people in front of us and behind us in line. There was something that was happening years ago. And I'll end it with this, as far as my talk goes, and then I'll let you guys continue because I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. Years ago, there was a thing that somebody started, and it ran across the entire nation. It was like something viral. It was like something viral, like a video going nationwide and worldwide. But somebody, whenever they got to a drive up window, the person that paid for their meal paid for the meal of the person behind them. And then the person behind them came up and said, okay, well, I got this. And the cashier's like, well, your meal's already paid for by the person in front of you. Well, I want to pay for the person behind me then. That's the kind of life we need to live. I don't give a rat's ass what you got in the bank, I'll be more than happy to show you my bank balance. I got 44 cents in my savings. Okay. I don't have a checking. I got nothing in a checking because as soon as it comes in, it goes out. Medical bills, prescriptions, vehicle repairs, it's just what it is. Okay. I don't give a shit what you got in the bank. Okay. What I give a shit about is what you got in here. Okay. And, that's the kind of life we need to live. It's just what it is. And since it's a Sunday, I wanted to make that very clear to everybody, that's the kind of life we need to live. All right. With that, I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee, and I will let you guys continue the conversation. And
Go ahead, Dennis.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, they're playing politics with our lives, and that's what really sticks in my craw. It's a burr under my saddle. Is they don't care what they do to us. It's all about what they want, and to sell out humanity for these things, to go in league with these forces, it's not good, and it's all only come to a bad end, whichever way you look at it. But I was sitting here thinking, listening to what William was saying. I remembered a very important passage in the Bible. Talks about the great judgment seat of God. One day we will all stand in front of that judgment seat. And they will open the books, it said. What books are they talking about here? Books with an S on it. But there's one book they will open up, the book of life. I don't concern myself too much with the tree of life. That was in the Garden of Eden. I worry more about the book of life. And he was not found written in the book of life. It's going to lose out on a lot of stuff. You're going to lose out on paradise. So I'm worried about being in that book. I don't know about you folks. But the other books that they open up will be the books on our lives. Everything, every thought, everything we've ever done, every idle word we've ever said. One day we will have to give account for that. It's being recorded somewhere, folks. By the Almighty, it's being recorded. And one day we will have to stand witness to it. And these people that are doing these things, they're going to have a bad witness to stand to. There's not going to be any excuses for them. They're going to say, "Oh, I didn't know this." It's not going to wash at the great such judgment seat. It's not going to make it. The excuses are not going to cut it. No matter how much money they got in the bank or how much power they had, how many people they destroyed, that's what's going to count. That's what they're going to have to give an answer for. Well, here's all I can say about that. I can only do one thing about my own ticket and nobody else's. And same thing with you. You can only answer for what you've done. But some people are going to have a whole lot more to answer for than they ever thought possible because of the things that they have done against humanity, against the very children of Almighty God. That's who we are. And you know what Jesus said about that? To offend even one of these little ones, it would be better to have a millstone around your neck and cast into the sea, the bottomless sea. That's how things are gonna go one day for these people, okay? And it ain't gonna be good. I don't want their debts on my ticket. Definitely not. I'm not gonna sell my ticket in with theirs. No, sir. I'd rather look out for my own ticket. How about you, Cheryl?
Yep, I believe that wholeheartedly. Everything William said, everything that you just said, Dennis.
Uh-huh.
Just let everybody know that we love them all and we care for you. And please reach out to us if you need anything or want to talk or whatever. And hope everybody has a great day and love you all. I'm just going to keep it sweet and short.
Yeah, and don't forget we're here. We're not far away here. We're here for your questions, your observations. If you want to send us emails, messages, whatever, we're here for that. If you have any questions or anything, or just an observation, or you see something that you think we should know about, or we should talk about in the future, let us know. We're open. That's what I think is so great about podcasts. Okay, and why I'm going to start one very soon. It's an open forum. Okay, where we have a connection one on one. That's a wonderful thing, folks. Think about it. We never had this opportunity before. We can go. I mean, we've got people in Australia, half a world away from us. We've got people in all different parts of the world, and we can communicate instantly with them. We can have that rapport one on one. That's a wonderful gift. Okay, and when you utilize it and use it the correct way, because it's what we've been given. Don't you agree, William?
Yeah, I agree 100%. It all comes down to to like Chief Seattle said. Okay, Chief Seattle said it the best. He said we're all part of the web of life. What we do to the web, we do to ourselves. And that's something that we need to realize. That the web of life does connect us all together, and not just the humans, not just the two-leggeds, but the winged, the four-legged, the no-legged. All of us are created and for a reason, and we're all connected in the web of life. Even the tree, the pinyon pine has human DNA. Who could imagine that a tree would have human DNA? I mean, we're all connected in this web of life, and what we do to the web, we do to ourselves. I mean, that's simple. That's the simple, basic truth to this life.
And something, and one more thing, William. There's one more thing too we need to realize. We all have the God-given right to be here, to exist and be here. You know, we all have that right, no matter whether we're four-legged, two-legged, whatever. We all have that right to be here. God gave us that. Our Creator gave us that. And to violate that is a terrible thing, and we should always be very careful about that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we take so much for granted too. We really do. You know, the country that we live in, you know, is still a great, I mean, it's still a great country. It's still a great nation. Sure, we got the dumbest of the pack leading the pack, you know, but, you know, we're still a great country, you know. You know, sometimes it takes the dumbest to show us just how appreciative we should be, you know. Maybe that's why God's letting the this, that, and the other thing happen, you know. So,
Yeah, and you know,
my children don't take
William,
it for granted.
I've had a lot of people say, I just don't even feel like voting anymore. It's nothing's just not going to do any good. I said, oh, no, don't do that. That's what they want you to do. They want you to give up, you know, and that's the one thing we can't ever do. We can never afford the luxury, folks, of giving up. Don't do it. That's exactly what they want.
Yeah, had thunderstorms coming in, so let's go ahead. We're at the over the 2 hour mark, and you know, I hate to say this. I mean, the conversation's getting really good. Maybe we can continue it later on, you know, throughout the week or something. Pop on a live or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll do a rumble. I'll do a rumble where I can rant and rave. That's what I'll do. I'll do a rumble.
Do a surprise.
So y'all watch your rumble feeds and see me coming in. Yeah, see me coming up. You'll really hear me going off on Rumble. Let me tell you. Okay, so check it out. I can't go off here, but you know, on Rumble I can. But yeah, you know, everybody just, you know, we need to work together. You know, whether it's paranormal, supernatural, a cryptid, a UFO sighting, you know, we need to make sure we tell people and pass that information on. We need to you know, I'm going to check into maybe doing a paranormal news thing. Okay. For an hour a week, you know, and just go over the week's news, paranormal news. So everybody, if you can send me your information, I know the email is lakotaman333@gmail.com. And I'll put the information out. You tell me of a recent UFO sighting. You tell me of a recent cattle mutilation, a recent cryptid sighting. You know, I'll make sure the information gets out there. I'll put together a podcast program for 1 hour a week, and we'll do just paranormal and supernatural news. You know.
Yeah, and if you're
to
having like some paranormal activity or somebody that you know has had something like that happen, let us know. Yeah.
Yep. So, anyways, you know, if you guys want to go over what you got going on today, and then yep, yep. And if you can, like, heart, and share this out. You guys go ahead and describe what you got going on today, and then what you got going on in the future. And then I'm going to do all the programming later on today. I'll get it out tonight on the internet, so everybody knows what's going on with the programming here. And you never know, you might see the High Strangeness newscast on there. So,
yep. So tonight at 6 p.m. Central, I got Jessica, the Cryptid Huntress, coming on, and we're going to get into obviously cryptids and some high strangeness ourselves. And then during the middle of the week, Wednesday, 12:30 a.m. or Thursday morning early, we got the Night Owl Lounge, and we get into all kinds of crazy conversations with the chat and see where that evening goes. Then I have a couple of guest appearances lined up. One with Blondes and Booze, and one with Shane from West Coast Dogman Project coming up.
Okay, well, that sounds you're going to be very busy, Gerald, definitely. I've got, of course, my usual Demonology Today show tonight at 9:00 p.m. with Grizzly Chris, and I will be going over the secrets of the Vatican. What are they really hiding, and what's the Pope up to? That's going to be an interesting show. And then Monday night at 9:00 p.m. Both of these are all Eastern Standard Time, folks. I'll be on Texas Front Porch, and we'll be going over werewolves, and I will tell you about that werewolf in the Bible. So it's going to be an interesting night. I don't know if I'm going to blow any minds, but we'll definitely blow some fuses.
Yeah, sounds like fun. I'm reading Castor Pollak's 15's comment about the Matrix, glitch in the Matrix. I'm gonna be putting that up on the news thing for this coming week. Because anything glitchy, anything mysterious, creepy, just let me know, and we'll put a newscast together and do an hour segment on it. Okay, so.
If it'll qualify as
High
strangeness news. High strangeness news, folks.
Yep. Okay.
You got to get off.
Yep. We're going to get off. We got the storms coming in, lightning and all that. So everybody have a great Sunday. Enjoy your day. And please like, heart, and share this out. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the moderators and everybody in the chat. We love you all very much.
Love you. Be kind to others.